Yo, 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 yo. Mm-hmm. Anybody who said they not hear me, don't like the video yet. Cause me I hear myself. I don't like up a video now, man. Cause I not hear me. Me sure not hear me. Yeah, man. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, man. Coach's desk. Another weekend triple treat. You understand? We're here. Treat the people them solid conversation, robust conversation on football. So basically, what we're gonna do tonight, people, we're gonna talk about Boza and because Boza right now are going about things. See, the same Boza will all people say him not ready, him not this, him not that. I see him Boza help us to go to the semi-final over there right now. But guess what? He will be out. See, Boza will be out. Who should replace Boza? I think the Reggae Boyz are gonna significantly miss Boza. You understand? Man, they put a piece of farm right now, you know. And we're gonna talk about the whole constitution and see how much we can delve into this. We're supposed to have attorney Milton Murphy a forward on to come talk about the whole thing. You understand? Rob Smith, what go on? Big up yourself. Al J in the building. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. Gray also out, man. But about that we are talking about now. Tyrone Williams, big up yourself. Kevin in Tyrone, Jairus, Kevin Williams, big up on yourself. Baggio in the building. Tom Stranger. Tom, you're no stranger again, man. Paul Watkins, big up yourself, you know. Yeah, man. Fresh God in the building. Capo there. You understand, people? Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big up the Facebook people, them. Are chilling at the building. You understand? Big up on yourself. So, this video, people, is brought to you by True Herbs. You understand? Chris King, bless up. This video is brought to you by True Herbs, people. True Herbs locate in Canada right now. You understand? So I want to check out True Herbs and go support True Herbs. Very important. Herbs is the best in the people. You have to take herbs, healing to the nation. And we now talk the one where you puff. You understand? I thought the one that you got a bush and you put your chemicals together. You mix up. You understand? Mix things up, blend together and come out with something where you can clear out the parasite out of some people. Clean your colon, clean your liver, clean your kidney. You understand? So let's hear what True Herbs boss is saying.
Apart from mucus, is if you're a drinker, you want to clean the liver. If you're a smoker, you want to clean the lungs. If you have any kind of sickness that is going on, if your bodies feel different, you want to clean parasite, colon, kidney. Now, people wait until it's too late, until it's become cancerous or become pain inside of the body before they decide they want to do anything about it. But I'm going to say to you now, let's do it. Let's do it now before it's too late, because when it's too late, it's hard, more and more difficult to get rid of on your part, because you're going to take a lot more discipline to get rid of it. So we have all the cleanse, parasite cleanse, colon cleanse, kidney cleanse. And if you are going through cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, we have the herbs to get rid of it and to help you to smooth, shovel, and get a lot of help within your. So things that most people are having problem with, apart from mucus, is if you're a drinker, you want to clean the liver. If you're a smoker, you want to clean the lungs. If you have any kind of sickness that is going on, if your bodies feel different, you want to clean parasite, colon, kidney. Now, people wait until it's too late, until it's become cancerous or become pain inside of the body before they decide they want to do anything about it. But I'm going to say to you now, let's do it. Let's do it now before it's too late, because when it's too late, it's hard, more and more difficult to get rid of on your part, because you're going to take a lot more discipline to get rid of it. So we have all the cleanse, parasite cleanse, colon cleanse, kidney cleanse. And if you are going through cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, we have the herbs to get rid of it and to help you to smooth, shovel, and get a lot of help within your. So
All right, so here we go on, people. On the here we go on. So check out the True Herbs product, people. Yeah, man, go on Instagram and check it out. And you don't know it go. So, Chris King, this is one of the most powerful statement you ever make in a night. You understand? You see me I say? We need something to clean the heart. But me can tell you, I love clean the heart in a Chris King. Yeah, man, the people them need some love, man. Love. You see that 4-letter word there? That conquer your heart. When a girl says she love you, she not conquer your heart, man. All that bad we have in your heart and in your mind have to erase, man. Love conquers all, brethren. Love. So you see in the talk about, you see the heart is a unique organ of the body, you know. You can't just get to it, so you know. With anything, you know. Because you don't want it start rebel. And if it start rebel, you know you're in a problem. So I love, brethren. Love. That 4-letter word there. Love. that, hey, easy, you know. You know, some things a tycoon is a second brain drain. Me just have a strong feeling. So tycoon is a second brain drain. I love can clean the heart, man. Remember, we always say people them not love the football, you know. So once they start love the football are getting harder, man. I love brethren. And we say it, you know. And you saw no say things I don't understand what I say. You understand? You have to love, brother. You have to love. You understand? So big up to all the people them in the comment section. RR, Tycoon, all of the massive, Al J. You understand? Yeah, man, big up on yourself. Kevin Williams said him have something the Queen can go over the FF election and him rich. Boza's documentary, big up yourself. People. So here one now. Boza are going to bag of things. Shamar, Nichols, people. Yeah, man, the boss are going to a whole heap of things, man. A whole heap of things in the French league. You understand? And we have to big up Shamar because the boss like him find back a piece of farm. And we not talk about the fowl farming or the animal farming. You know. Yeah, man. Boza find back a piece of farm. Siobhan Pierre, big up yourself, you know. So far, so good, you know. Me I give thanks, you know, brother. One thing with that youth, you know, me no make nothing stress me, you know. Yeah, man, me try to step on stress and tear down stress. You get what I say? Big up yourself determined. So we have to big up Boza, you know. Boza go on the whole heap of things, people. And the boss scored today and him assist. And it not normal for a youth probably got to him in mental challenges where he was coming from in terms of the league that he was in. Overcome and become basically the hitman in France right now. It's a big deal. You understand? So it is a good look. Congratulations to Boza where I do. Yo, just keep up the good work. Hey, you have some point in your life, people, you reach to a better place, And I think that this a Boza reach right now, You understand? Him could have shown the towel long time, because Boza one of the youth them will get a whole heap of fight, in terms of flagging because of some of his performance. I remember Boza say, yo, him listen all of them criticism there and him utilize it for bedtime game. Him say him and one of a person where I go say, yo, stop call up my name, this and that. A man use it as motivation. And if you see the youth a play some good ball, national team and club wise, it's a big deal. You understand? Big up Boza anywhere you're there. I know you watch the show now, but big up yourself, man. When you see your name come up, you know you watch it. Big up. You understand? Hey, it's when we just start the channel, yeah. We do one feature upon Boza too, And I can remember Boza jumping in the comment section and I saying respect for the feature. You understand? At that time, I think him did, I don't know, Saudi. I think at the team that did go Saudi or after that. I don't remember. Or when him they scored that wicked goal against US. Yeah, man. We feature him on the channel and the boss rate the work and say, yo, big up yourself, Thanks for your feature. And from them time, they we know say Boza have it in him to become great. A matter of fact, from him there, boy Stone, the man there hit man in the man for a long time. You understand? And we're glad to see the progress. Big up to his agent, big up to his whole team. Hey, it's not easy, brethren. Especially when you go through a bad patch, Yeah, man, easy, man. I can't tell athletes go through these patches and it's not easy upon them sometimes. If them support system around them no strong, no supportive, and in supporting you can tell them what them are the wrong to, be constructive in your criticism, They understand? And it look like them people the Boza have around him and it a work. So big up to Boza and him team. You understand? Big up to Boza and the entire team. So people will drop the link, phone line ready, up and running. You can call in, let your voice be heard before we get into the whole constitution thing, because we have to go chat that. Because me think of the constitution that cause the lack of understanding where the issues are concerned. You understand? So guess what now? My team Manchester United, look at them play song. No, they not play bad today, Them not play bad today at all. All right, so I just check the phone, people. I see some messages when I check. I get some pigeons. Yeah, man, I get some pigeons. CC. Big up yourself, CC. I have to go link, CC, car. Get some pigeons. CC. So, yeah, man, boys are going out with some things, people. And we rate where CC, where boys are going with. You understand? Richie Robinson, big up yourself, Where you say one boys, hey, one thing, Balakara, one of them is still, we believe in a Boza, no matter where man they step on the stream, them, Balakar always I say one Boza. So we have a big up Richie Robinson. You know we send off your jersey though. You know that. Last night we put up Tuffy Rudy jersey. Make sure so when you get your jersey in a boss man, you take a picture and send it to me too, so when people can know so you get your jersey, Oh, oh, that me realize. All right, let me see. Comment section me run through, Real talk CD, world of suffer, no love. Yeah, man. Love lacking in our world. Everybody's all for themselves. Everybody's about me, myself, and I. Individualize the thing. And the last time here, no man is an island under them, so only Cayman. No man stands alone. Everybody in the world needs somebody. You see, along your journey of life, you need somebody. That individual, that group, that network that will help you to reach your ultimate or realize your ultimate goal. Don't believe so you can do it by yourself. You see, Mr. CMR do one song saying do it by himself. He no need none of them. I enforce them attack. But right throughout him journey, you need somebody. You understand? You don't do it by yourself. Whether your wife become your motivation, your family, or you grew up in a life, that become your motivation and you push you, somebody help you, a teacher in school, somebody, taxi driver will take you to your journey every day. Yeah, man, them people that are part of a journey. You get what I say? So we all need somebody. Phone a blew up higher. If him have something for clean out, for him for hard, him can go over JFF election and him rich. I tell you why the remedy for clean out already, Kevin. Love are the remedy, man. What Garnet say, love is the answer. That no new. Conroy, big up yourself. The corruption is so high you don't know which side to take. Kieran, you see, you have to do like me. You have to do like coach's desk. Me not take no side. And you know why me not take no side? Me not trust none of them. Me not trust no side. So here what me I go do? Me I go just stay in my lane until everything unfold. You can't. Oh, you have to take side in this. Can't take side in this one. If you take side in this, you're going to be flip flop because you're going up from side to side. Yeah, man, you're going to do upscotch. He's actually been playing well since he got there. He was on a better team. The goal return will be higher. Yeah, man. I'm going to go on the bag of things. It's a real sad we won't have it. Yeah, man. Yeah, people, that's why I put up that title here. Me can tell you. You see that hype that where Boza come off right now from the quarterfinal or the other round to this round to how him playing in Europe right now, that would motivate the youth more to come to Texas and deal with the mats. You see what I say? So me believes that the team are gonna miss him, brethren. But who we can use to replace him? Who do you think? We're gonna bring that fire. We know so nobody can be Boza still enough. But who you believe are gonna bring that fire up at the top? I said to someone the other day that we need more love in each other. The answer was we can't change everybody. Love conquers all, man. Love conquer all. No matter what you say, love conquer all. Some people are gonna try to tough up themselves now, go in at that little spot there. But love conquer all, man. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. Clement is rubbish. Boza been playing well though. Hopefully a better team in Liga 1 by him. Remember, say, I know Clement time side, alone him depend, so him can't get purchased from Clement, unless Clement I got buy him from Russia. And remember that. I hope they might try to get him out of there still. Hope so. Attorney Murphy, when they're ready, so me drop the link there, Cranky, when they're ready, see link there, Boza has always been good. He had a drop in form, but the man no score goal in 2 years and get no flagging. Detonation, big up. And Honor Ramsey, big up yourself. Dr. Dan in the building. Jamalo is purple patch for Swansea. He would look to play him as centre forward. Big up Boza, talented youth. New coach came in Russia and took his confidence. They didn't play well. Thought control the game. CD. Don't do it. Anyways, Dr. Dan. United, what go on? What do you think about the game today, United? Big up yourself. Chat room, who no believe say to replace Boza? Getting dominated by Spurs at home isn't a good look for a big team though. But man, you not having uno come like uno feel uno now watch the league. Remember that Manchester United has not been playing well at home, Coach, I will make a prediction. Cataract will be like a cancer in Jamaica football. That is your prediction. And we were at home too. Coach, you should put an option that says none of the above. None of those players brings what Boza bring. Who you said in MPEC? Only 4 options we can select on YouTube, So YouTube, we need to free up a polling so we can have more options YouTube. So that is a suggestion what we are show out here. Eagle Republic, big up yourself in an erudite. Well, go on. We lucky football don't play on YouTube because Boza would have dropped before Canada. Yeah, man, a true you talk, Rob Smith. True you talk. Boza get whole of pressure, man. But you can't understand why the pressure do Rob Smith because I never did that play well. Boza does. I think the little moments that he got in the team really sharpen him up and get him back and him find him mojo. We have to be truthful upon one day. You understand? So Boza really came back to life with a look of call up them. Honestly. Yeah, man. Manning's hey, you see honesty, Manning's call for Boza for help out the Gunners them, Me call Andre Blake for help out United shop. And uno beat me and say what kind of eat that title that me make. Hey, uno not easy, Where's the Mannings? Boza to Gunners. That would be a big deal still, Big deal for the man named Boza, Honestly, Yo, we get a call. A one ball a call.
Coach,
What go on?
hello. When you say Boza never they play good, what you mean by that? The national team?
The time when remember saying never did that play a ball in a Russia,
Whenever
You want me answer a question or you want to talk?
India play ball in Russia in a patches, man. In the art, them get a new coach. in command in a patches and scoring goal now and then.
Balakar.
No striker in a Jamaica never they play good then.
Balakar. Boza never look like him put on weight.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
We just feel say the attack in a Jamaica team, but me a lot of run over Spartak.
So no that
He
me
never
attack.
get no.
So no that me attack about
Him
Bridget.
never, but all I know, coach, him never start. But when he do come off of the bench, he make an impact.
Yeah, but if he scored the amount of goal he must scored now at that club, yeah.
Yeah,
So that me
that's
attack
true.
about
But when he
it's
come
like
off of the bench,
it's like him rediscover him farm now, you know. When the man you see national team call up them what him get, it's like he does get him back in the ball. Remember say Boza never did a play no whole for ball bridging. Understand?
all right.
Go on like say I not true me attack, man.
Well, I know, coach, man, boy, Fox him did there, you know. When him do come on the field, remember the players are center forward, you know. Them have several.
You know,
They play forward.
listen to me now, man. I am not trying to argue where he was playing, which position. I'm just saying he wasn't playing a lot. And Boza did look like him put on weight to me. Since him get by the call up, some work and the man start get back sharp. Even if friendly then when we are say man no look sharp. And we are say games are gonna get back Boza sharp. So all that does disappear, so. Man
But
can't
coach,
you know forget game and him get
yeah,
the
but
loan and him go over the club there so and him start just go out a bag of things.
coach, when you go the same never the him when in a part of my stuff, both in his first season and down in the last part of it, when him do come off of the bench, if him no assist or him a score, he make an impact. Meaning
Balakar,
him involved in the goal.
how long he never played a ball a Russia for? Now your ball line, you have to know them thing there, you know.
A couple game alone in a play, coach.
Okay.
Couple game well in a play. Couple game well. And then when the team will lose, you see them draw for him, Quincy Paris, and the number 7. And then they just have him behind the whole of them, the work, and provide for them. So at that save all the coach job too. And then the coach look like you know have him in the implants and loan him. You understand? And probably play a different part of Europe. You understand? So me not say why you say wrong, you know, coach.
But me not have to argue because I know you're wrong. Me just listen what you
Me
say
not
now.
say why you say wrong, you know, but him never upon that. When me say now, I don't think confident he gone one little bit. Even when he come back in a Jamaica team when he go play the friendly them.
Man
When he
confident
score the
down
penalty.
and he never sharp enough. He
Confident.
never look sharp. At the games them in the national team, like him find back a little hit Bridget. And like him go put in some
So all right.
when he got
All right.
a Euro over France.
No, coach, you make a good point there, sir. Zin, he never they play as much for in club, so when he come to Jamaica, kind of look sharp, you know. That's a very good point. So you see where all of the ball of them need minutes. Because sitting on the bench cannot help you.
They wouldn't know that we know that Balakar.
Oh, and me see the show say, for now, for this semi-final, we go play against US. Why, coach? Me not see strike kind of. If Antonio no come back.
Antonio they're on the verge of coming back, and I think him close to come back right now.
But even if he come back, you know, West Ham go kind of stew the rhythm there, so. You see me? So
But can they stop it?
they can't stop it, but they can't stop him.
No.
So when he come back, he don't get no game. You don't feel they can do that?
A long time for him to come back, he not get the game. Look how long that, and he's still forward.
Okay. But we don't want him come off an injury and just come and start. So once
Balakar.
yeah, me I say probably
Hold on.
somebody can start the game.
Go on now.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me I say somebody can start the game and him come on probably in the last 20-15 minutes. Cause we not just want him come and they overwork himself from you understand?
Mm.
And then again Chevante Stewart now play no good ball. So me can't say Chevante Stewart. Me the bias to say Chevante Stewart. You understand? A long time me no see Roof. A long time me no see Roof. So it kinda it look a weird, so probably we have to use a makeshift.
You're not on the roof my house.
Yeah man, but me say a long time me no see Kemar Roof. But me I say coach. Between me and your coach, the wingers are when me either pick Bobby Reed, Liam Bailey, Gray, and Cephas. Coach.
Balaka, we not talk about that. We are talking about Boza replacement now. You notice me never mention about them alright, Gray. A Boza night tonight. We don't want to talk about nobody else. Boza night tonight. Who you think can replace him? Who you
Alright, the
suggest?
candidate them where you put up, me go suggest one. You understand? Me nah see the four where you put up. Me choose at the present moment as how me see the game them a play as the ball of them when they perform. Four where you put up. Me that pick Cephas, cause Cephas they on way better form than the rest of player them where you put up. Yeah, both goal contribution, whether in I build up and whether assist or score, me that have him with team pace. You understand? That's my opinion, and our next person can pick whoever they want. You understand? Me not think me ever see Jamal Lowe play centre forward if him can play. I never seen him play before. You understand? But even him, between him and Cephas, man. But me, my pick a Cephas. I don't know for Kemar Roof in a recovery if he start play back now football yet. So I can't say.
Kenry Campbell, big up yourself, you know. Big up yourself. Do it, big up.
But it was a good look to the Boza, you know. When he got the club there, within the first 2 game or within the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes, it shows say boy him go be like the go-to player upon the team. Otherwise from one number 10 we did it. You understand? And him a grow coach. You know, every year he get better and better. So as when me hear they read out a comment say if probably a commenter say if he may probably have a better team. You understand? Run more better player. Either better off team where he can score. But if you're there that side, I either do all the way you can do. By the time you and I see so, a next club might look for you and take you on a loan or just buy you for a Sparta. You see me?
Remember saying him out for suspension in a Rob Smith. That's why we are deliberate on this, you know.
Yeah, man, and me can't even say we call Whisper, because Whisper now a long time Whisper no play no ball.
Yeah, but you know, so
me can't say that.
Then draft in Whisper for true to the first team, you know.
No, in the first team.
You know. Huh?
In the first team, I look on the website to them, man.
Yes.
They have him in the first team.
Yes, son of from
in the first team.
All I call listen to the man. When the man just going enough, he not true to the first team. But the thing officially in the first team. Make your answer, man.
Yeah. I saw a true man go. When him just go.
But you're going like me, I say something when no go so. You just want to dominate the conversation, Virgin. You know what I say, no?
true, probably because I'm a baller, they make me always do the thing there. You see
Yeah,
me?
man. If you listen, because
Sorry,
I
my
know you
bad.
alone know about the ball of them, no, brother.
No, me say my baller, you know. And I'm
Mm.
alone know about baller them, but other people know more than me. You
Mm.
understand? But me do some research. You see me? But when you ain't just go coach, I never the a true, I never in the big team in there. And they are trained within the youth team, you see me? Cause everywhere I go up on transfer market, it did show say at the youth 18, youth 19, you see me?
Mm.
So I just know me hear somebody did say something, I just go up on Google and go search and me see it. So me I say, but you don't have a number yet. You
Yeah.
see me? Don't know why probably you want a number.
Yeah, them not giving no number
Probably
yet. But it's a good look still, you know. Straight in at the first team after
it look like you have
the signing officially. Look like they love what they're bridging.
yeah, he hungry for it, you know, coach. So you
Mm.
know, you see me and me always hear him father say, no matter what man, that youth, if 50 man in front time, he go fight and reach up at the top. You understand? So in father always say he's a fighter, so a youth when we know go do good, you understand? Whenever I get in chance.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to just there and look where I go on. But you know, with the candidate them MC have and they said that I see first maybe.
Oh, see
So
first. All right.
what makes yeah. What makes somebody else get a call in cause 10 minutes that till 12. You see me?
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
And so far it look like everything up and running where everything go good with the election thing.
We have to wait about 20 odd more days, man. We don't know nothing. And Balakar, make
So
sure
if you want
20 odd more days, man.
yeah.
When you get the jersey, you know, make sure say you send a picture, you know, so we can make the people that know say you get the jersey, you know.
Yeah man, yeah.
Cause you see Toughy Rudy roll out theme last night.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
what do that man?
All right. Big up yourself.
Ah,
Mm.
yeah man.
All right. So, Attorney Milton, you see the link, when you click on the link and come on the panel, you don't have to turn on your camera if you don't want to. But we don't want to block the line because people might call in and if you up on the line, it'll block the line. So hit the link at the top of the chat room and come on the panel so we can have that discussion there about the constitution. All right. If you can't do it that way, there, just call in back. Tycoon say Balakar a drink. Jamal Low is not the solution. Coal is the answer. You hear people are talk about coal. One low, everyone else are scraps. I know Damian Low we are talking now. A Jamal Low we are talking now. Gray is on a red card. Jamal Low has 6 goals in 21 starts, 2 penalties. No purple patch at all. Devante Cole. Devante will replace him. The new baller Cole look like the only one, to be honest. Antonio will start. Hey, you know, so somebody make a comment say if I did any other coach other than Algrim, so they would have thrown away Boza a long time. And the man kept faith with Boza. And look there. Look there. Sometimes you have to just be patient with some of the player them. You get what I say? And when we understand the chat room them, people them in the chat room, some of the people them, once a ball and not play good today, yo, what that's your thing for you know. Bobby Reed is the only proven striker available. Don't even know if Rule fit. When last has FIFA scored any goal contribution in Turkey? Cole have 14 goals this season. Big up yourself, Garvin. Cataract in the building. Cataract say Roof was re-injured about 2 weeks ago. So Roof out. So scratch Roof off of the list there. It look like Roof Reggae Boyz career in limbo right now, you know. Too much injuries. Impact, that's can't help us. We need a player like no. Jamal Lowe play centre forward for Swansea. Never see him in that role for Jamaica. He's not a hold-up player. No, Jamal Lowe is a player where will dribble, take on players rather than hold up the ball and pass it on and move. Him rather take on players. Blair Tuggart. Blair Tuggart was recovering from an injury. We don't think we're gonna see about them the Monday or the night team. We need a striker fast. Can Whisper go out on loan in this transfer window? I don't know. Why don't want to put Whisper out on loan? Why we don't think about Whisper breaking into Chelsea? Remember, I said Chelsea now playing a ball in North Chile. Best time for Whisper break out another team. Man. Why half of the YouTube would I get heart attack, Rob Smith? Coach Cole, 15 goals and 3 assists. Jamal Lowe, 6 goals, 2 assists. Boza, 2 goals and 2 assists. The Boza is the man. Mikel Antonio, Jamal Lowe, Devontae Cole, Johnson. Hey, Johnson Clark Harris. A long time we yesterday, the man there get him passport. I'll know, you know. We say, not surprised, Balakar would pick CFAS. Hey, CC, you need to link me, you know. Somebody page me CC and say they want to have a conversation with your CC. But just check my phone and see a message CC. Yeah, man. Hey, you sure boss you know CC? Yo. Hey, yo, it's a Javon East. Yeah, man, Javon East are going good as El Salvador, man. Can't call up Javon East, man. I want to chat to man. I'm going to say that not joking for me. Yeah, the link at the top of the comment. Hold on, let me see. The link never pinned. Yeah, man, the link pin at the top of the comment section. I will see I watch. See I watch on different stream. Jairus, big up. Who did I call for him get dropped, Rob Smith? Who are Judas, Jairus? You know, easy, you know. That's why Algrims is the coach and not anyone in the chat. The link at the top of the chat. Alright, we'll drop it again. Me see it on my device. It pin. Alright, let me drop it again. At the top of the chat room, you see the link. You just click on that. Where you see Coach's Desk TV in a yellow. It's not in the chat, it's at the top. Yeah, man, Javon East. On the gig Javon East. Welcome to the show.
Evening, coach.
What? How this? Cataract? What go on?
Well, yeah, coach. What's a show team? And someone I use them wrench on them little powers. You understand? And time out, man. But here's the thing. I really talking about the strikers. You understand? Kemaru injured, again, like about 2 weeks ago, New Year's Day. And Mikel Antonio re-injured in training. So that look, they say another 6 weeks for him out. So Andre Gray is who my money would be on. What do you think about that?
So me not 2 year nothing about. Me not 2 year nothing about Andre Gray France season still enough, but.
Yeah, look at the Cyprus. I look up and see where it was, because I saw something the other day. But somebody that talk about Johnson Clark Harris out of favor. Of course, someone just do some research. Clark Harris, £500,000 bid from Charlton Athletic accepted.
Yeah,
Them just discussing personal terms.
Yeah, but we are here about that man multiple years now, and we can't see him.
Yeah. Well, him have an issue. We're not gonna discuss that. But
so we can't have him in an equation.
Yeah, because what I believe now that when he go, he'll be linking up with Michael Hector and Kira Anderson. That would be the two players. He would be in the team with those two players. So if they can, the issue that him have, I think they might be able to help him with a senior man like Michael Hector. So Gray had 4 goals, 1 assist. He's in Saudi Arabia in 11 games. Start 50% of the games. So I don't know how we know about the Marai down there and we don't follow. It's like when a man serve Jamaica and we just dash them and act like they don't exist. But he's in Saudi Arabia, coach, because he was in I think Greece or Cyprus before, and then he transferred. So he has more goals and more assists than Demarai Gray, and they play the same. Demarai Gray play more games than him. So how you match that up?
No, I get that game.
Coach him play 11 games, score 4 goals and 1 assist. Demarai scored 2 goals and 2 assists in 12 games.
But Gray enough.
So he has more goals.
Yeah, but Gray enough striker. You can't put them.
Andre Gray is not a striker. Andre Gray
I said
is a centre forward.
I said Gray, and I'm referring.
No, Demarai plays in the attacking line.
Exactly. So
it's Gray. Oh,
I'm referring to.
No, Demarai plays in the attacking line. Sorry, coach. Sorry, coach. We'll go on. Yeah. but he's still an attacker.
Yeah, but that tool is
What
in
I'm
attack.
saying is he plays on the wing. He plays on the wing, right?
So
Right.
as a center forward, Gray's contribution would have been better than his, which it is happening.
Okay, I can't see that. I can't see that reasoning there, so. But my point is still, right now he's kind of productive. It's a much higher league than League One. I know everybody is going on Devante Cole, but I respect him for coming to Jamaica. Respect his father for the legend and the Cole. I wish he did come to Jamaica back in '98. But for me, I don't see Devante Cole as an international striker striving in CONCACAF. I hope he proves me wrong, but that's just my assessment. Jamal Lowe now, levels to the thing, coach. League One versus Championship is a whole big jump. So it'll be just interesting to see who the coach pick.
All right, we want to get on the attorney to talk about the Constitution. So it look like him can't get on, so I'm gonna call him on the line. So
Free and I click the link, coach. There's some things I want to say about the Constitution.
Mr. Murphy, you ready? All right, man, I'll call Mr. Murphy. I don't know if him. Sir Murphy, you can't get on to the link.
Yes, sir. I was about to. I had to change the device I was on.
All right. All right. Do it.
I was about to. All right. I'll deal with it and call you.
I still don't understand this Andre Gray no good, but yet still he's one of Jamaica's highest paid player, £100,000 a week. Cole have 15 goals in 25 matches. Carla, welcome to the show. Hello?
Yeah, let me ask you something. How will people have to do on your channel to get time out?
Where people have to do?
If a man not... Yeah. Because let me see them a time out people on your... And a man not swear. A man not say... A man say something smart to you. You say something smart to him in a respectful manner. And then him a time you. And you know, you would not swear word or nothing like that. So the brother, so you have some little man where look like when they're young, nobody never used to play with them, and then get look power up on your channel, and then just time out people for fun, and I laugh like the boy, the one named Juras.
What happened with Juras a while ago? If you not tell me,
I not see my time out and a time out. Mr. United, me don't know why. And him and his friend them in a chat a kick like something sweet in.
So what you say?
All right, me I watch the thing, right? Me not say where Cataract if get time out. Me not say where Mr. United if get time out, and in time out the two of them.
So when Mr.
And
United
laugh. Something to the effect of, oh, you so bright or something, you had the common denominator and everything. You know what I mean? And him that tell Mr. United say in chat too much. So I not see the difference between you as a man chat too much and a man say, oh, you move to like you're the common denominator. Basically. Them equal. The man not tell him about him mother, not tell him nothing about this or that. And Cataract never say nothing about that. Even though me not agree with Cataract, but after your speech and if a man have a different opinion and him show your respect. When this time don't show so no weak or no coward. Because even if me have the power to time out a man, me not time out no man, brother.
So
and if you talk to them, look.
So you say take away wrench for all them on them.
Brother, I bet you do that and not make nobody not have nothing or give everybody eating. So all right, yeah, some man will love when I say they're not used to nothing, brother. But they look a rich thing when they have them feel like brother, you know.
Yeah, assume so they're not used to that.
Based on what me see. Because brother, all right, me go on all of the stream them, I mean I reach and I one time you have a time out a man, and I when him a call people like all homophobic or them something there. And I one time you ever do it. Because it make no sense. Me can't talk to defend myself if a man want to talk it. As long as a man use swear word or name calling, brother, where your time him out for? Make the stream run. And you know, if you say something sarcastic within the boundaries, expect a man to say step back something to your sarcastic within the boundaries too. You think that's fair, coach?
You look at me, I've got turn off the comment section then.
No, but the show can't go run it out the comment section, coach. That's where the fun, that's where.
So if the show can't run it out the comment section, all right, me I gonna say this still. The wrench man them, if the man them don't say nothing, or if them say nothing disparaging, me say it already, delete the comment. And you want the persons them first.
Exactly.
And if them
but
not
me a call me.
If well I know, let me talk now, man. You know, say something now, me I try address it now. If they don't conform, I have no problem with timing out. Once you want them and them don't conform. But the first course of action is that you have to warn them. Hey, listen up. You see if a mechanic them not in the comment section, a YouTuber gonna do it, you know. And a YouTuber
right,
gonna mash up the channel, you know. Because
you have
certain well, listen, my brother, you have certain things where YouTube no want in the space.
Right. But brother, Mr. United you the road. So brother, you like me that said, brother, you face it from the other day, you're the common denominator and everything. And that me read. And then after that, me say then time out the man. Me not see nothing wrong with that. But, and yet still at the same time, Drew answer in chat too much in leave people business, not in as many words. So what's the difference between the two of them? Brother, some man coming like some bouncer where they are club door.
But what I know? All right. So you know what me I gonna do? You see, if me turn on, you want something with them called chatbot. You see, if me turn on that, you're gonna see how much people get disappear. So if people have to because it's gonna do automatically because you the chatbot or something will clean up the comment section. And it not ask no question. All if me go in the comment section, it'll delete me too.
Based on what
yeah.
Yeah, they use that then say if a man use homophobic language or
I know that alone it delete for. Me try it already, you know.
Yeah. And then when the funny thing when in time out people like ken. So that make me know say him coming like the bunks of them where they are club door when I have no power, but when they are the club door and then show up on people. So at that me see with Jura. In no power nowhere. Uncle Pan stream when we have one little range when can use. What me there, yeah, my brother?
All right, because man say kem. I have a laugh still, but me I gonna say it again for real. Once. No, but seriously, you know, the chatbot is worse than the man them with the wrench, you know. Me can't tell you that, you know. The chatbot is worse. If you write the chatbot will kick you out. I tried it already for one stream, but me just start there. Mr. Me have to turn off it quick and fast. Everybody I say, yo, what me do forget delete? What me do forget delete? But we are say it again, people. Only just keep it real in the comment section. People are gonna have run-ins, but we try to keep it real. As me say, if yeah, that's why I take it off Rajic Sharp, the chat bot. But the people them who have the range just work with the order. Please and thanks. Good night, caller.
Evening, coach. Hope all is well.
Oh God, yeah, man. So far, so good enough. But me have a look running with the people and where complaints so them get time out.
No, I seen it. But one thing more so before we go forward, like, you know, I'm gonna get to deal with. I mean, everyone have their own opinion, and you know, I respect Katarek and their opinion. But you know, obviously, not many people are fans of him or you know agree with him. But I think they must keep it respectful still, you know.
Again. Remember, I say all of the people them they do rate Katarek, but all of a sudden, people them. Well, you're probably new to the show still, but Katarek was the man.
I mean, me keep up, coach. It's just the politics, you know. But listen, pertaining to the Shamar Nicholson situation and you know finding a replacement for him, I feel like you know it's very hard to find a replacement for him. However, I feel what the coach has to do in terms of who's available in that position is just look for somebody who fits the bill in terms of you know the dynamic that he's looking for, you know, and in terms of how he wants to play going forward, you know. Mikel Antonio, if we were supposed to get Mikel Antonio, he would offer something different because, as I've said in the past, Mikel Antonio for me has not been known as a prolific striker. You get what I'm saying? However, in terms of his hold-up play, etc., and you know, getting wingers and teammates in and around, he can offer that. You know, so he, in terms of his profile of a player, he would definitely offer something different. But you know, Shamar Nicholson, coach, the run of form that he was in the last couple games, especially the Canada game, you know, it's just something to behold. It was spectacular, you know, and I think Andre Gray. I've not been keeping up with these players because they play in Saudi Arabia, and I don't know how much people really watch the Saudi league as of right now. You know, in terms of you know Reggae Boyz fans and you know people watch Premier League, etc. However, I've seen the stats and I see him have like 4 goals and 1 assist in I believe 10 or 14 games. You know, but still, you know, we just have to leave it up to the coach with his selection coming into the Nations League semi-finals. You know.
Yeah.
And if let me tell you, if Whisper was playing some minutes at a club,
he would be the man.
Then yeah. But I think maybe he will be in selection in terms of like he'll be in the squad. I'm not sure. But in terms of starting, this is a very serious game where you probably want somebody who's a bit more senior, you know, and know the game at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all I have to separate into that.
All right, big up yourself. So we have Milton Murphy coming on, the attorney, to start share with us. People, you see, that's why we give people wrenching up people. Because guess what? I don't want to be involved in how we're going in our chat. Seeing? I don't want to be hosting the show and I feel talk to people in a comment section. Sometimes I don't read some of my comment and people are say, yo, that's why they have super chat. So once you put a super chat, that message is highlighted and the onus is on the host to put it up. You get what I say? Sometimes we don't see all our messages then we are come through. Because them are come through quick and fast. One thing we need to learn is that people are going to have disagreement. And people will have disagreement. But I want to deal with it as adults. You can't just type everything will come to you. And then as man said, yo, I talk I hear, you know. So please, the wrench on them, on the want people them. On the do the job in the comment section. I can't manage 2 places. That's why I want to get the wrench. People, on to be careful of the wrench man them. Just be careful on the time. Be respectful to each other. And you don't have to come talk about disappear and time out and them stuff. The Richmond them now ease up. Them due to that, me not have nothing to do with that. If it go overboard, we can de-ringe people. You get what I say? But keep it respectful and we not have to have the conversation again. You understand? And we not have to have the kem. Yes, attorney, big up yourself, you know. Thanks for joining the show.
Good night, boss.
Come on.
So we're
Hold on the attorney. Double go on.
Coach.
We have the attorney. Huh?
The man them mash up your money because the man not tell me say I try put in a super chat and then time him out, you know.
Put in a super chat and then time him out.
Yeah, you know, you coach, you have to be smart, you know. Remember, your job is somewhere up on your thing, a laugh and a style up your money, you know. But what time more people now give $1, you know.
So you say all I Richmond them for drop our money on the board for them time out people
Exactly.
wrongfully.
Yeah, if I that.
All right.
Some of them are a bounce of them in a club door, then stand up.
All right. No, me could lead down that journey there right now. I mean, me hear what you say. All right.
Yeah.
Big up yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So drop some super chat in a chat room, people. All I Richmond them once you're outside of Jamaica, drop some super chat for the if you're wrongfully take a man out of the chat, you have to drop a super chat. All right, your time now, Sir Milton Murphy.
Yes, Coach. Good night again. Good night to all of your listeners that are listening in. You know, as you guys know, as Coach has alluded to, I got a bit of a legal background, and so we're here to get into the specifics of the JFF's constitution, a little bit about FIFA's rule as it applies to what's going on with the JFF today, and also a little bit about the Court of Sports Arbitration, because they actually play a role in kind of what's going on. So whenever you're ready, Coach, you lead the way, and I will kind of give my 2 cents on where I think things stand.
All right. The first thing that we want sorry. The first thing we want you to delve on or look on is the fact that there's an injunction and the courts have halted the election, and there's a 28 period of time that some deliberation has to take place. And we have been hearing a lot of stories about FIFA coming in, and all of these things. So we, the fans, really want to know from a legal standpoint what or where does this leave Jamaica's football? Because a lot of people are fret. A lot of people have them hand on them head, eyes wide open, looking out to see what might happen and stuff like that. So, being that there's a constitution, what does the constitution say about all of this?
Well, the Jamaican the JFF Constitution specifically requires that dispute among members follow a particular protocol, and that is that those disputes have to be dealt with internally within the federation based on rules that the federation itself has drafted and FIFA has blessed. And if that process fails to come to any type of resolution, then there is a vehicle where that can go to the federation, to FIFA itself, and ultimately to the court of sports arbitration. In fact, the JFF Constitution specifically forbids any dispute between the federation and any of its members and or affiliate for those to be taken to what the statute calls an ordinary court. Now, what people got to bear in mind is the language that is used in the JFF Constitution actually mirrors the language that's used in FIFA statute. So this is not a term of art that the JFF came up with. They're just borrowing from the language as is disclosed in FIFA's own statute. And so the big question for, I think, what the Jamaican soccer public is trying to figure out is whether the movement, meaning the person who applied for the injunction, whether or not they meet the legal definition of a member. Okay. And there is some discussion of whether or not that individual would meet that definition. And I think that's, that conversation is taking place because the association itself that would benefit from a favorable ruling, they have said openly that they are not the movement. Okay, and that's a very that's a very technical distinction that people's got to pay attention to, because at the end of the day, if the association is determined to be a member, then them being a part of the injunctive process is going to be a problem under FIFA's rule. Okay, and so that's why there's that separation between the association and the individual that's bringing the injunction. Now, for in layman's term, an injunction is just a temporary stay. Okay, it's like when you go to Woolworth and you buy something and you put it on hire purchase. Hold on to it until I bring the rest of the money. So this is essentially what the court has done. The court has said, hey, look, there may be a legal issue here, and we want to give the parties additional time to flush out what the underlying legal issue is, so that the court can make a determination if this is even something that they need to rule on. That's another thing that people have to be aware of, that the court may come back and say, hey, you know what, the person who is bringing the suit, that person may or may not have standing to actually bring the injunction. Okay. So that's kind of that's kind of where we are. The injunction is just to allow both parties time to flush out the merits of their case, and then the courts. It's also time for them to resolve the issue without it having to go through the formal legal process. Now, I've read in a couple of places that FIFA has asked that the parties involved provide all relevant document related to the dispute to FIFA, so that they can take a look and see what is going on. There is an out in the FIFA regulation where it specifically says that the disputes have to go through the regular FIFA process unless it is expressly required by law to go through some other legal proceedings. And so I know there has been conversation about the Company Act in Jamaica and registration under that particular statute. And, that is going to be an issue, since I think the Registration Act seems to fall outside of FIFA's purview and the JFF purview, because the JFF, their rules just says that you have to be registered. They do not prescribe the rules and regulation for that registration to take place. They just require you to be registered. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. And I mean, if people if people, for people out there in the diaspora that's listening, if you want to go read what the regulation says for yourselves, it's in Article 3. Not Article 3, Article 13 of the JFF's Constitution, and that one deals with membership. It talks about written application. It talks about the registration process. It talks about dispute resolution and things of that nature. So I think specifically Section D of the membership requirement requires that a member that's applying for membership to the JFF, that member has to complete a declaration. I'm calling it a declaration of dispute resolution. And essentially what it says is that, hey, you declare that if you've got an issue with JFF, you will deal with it in accordance with the JFF rules, the FIFA rules, CFU rules, so on and so forth.
All right, what does the article say on that particular page? It's not readable on my side. Is it possible for you to inform us?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up here. 13.
Zoom in on mine, and it's not.
Yeah, it's a very difficult format that they've got it on, but it says that members have the following obligations, and one of those obligations is that that members comply with the statute, regulation, directive, and decisions of FIFA. That they comply with the statutes, regulation, directives, and decision of FIFA's body at all times. Let me go back up here. So that's what I read right there that's the FIFA's regulation about the JFF responsibility, and then on the Jamaican Constitution, the JFF Constitution. Let me go to that page here. And we are in Article 13. All right. Article 13 says that that any applying entity has to complete a declaration that any dispute, okay, and they divide the disputes into two distinct sections. There is national dispute and there is international dispute. So we're talking about Article 3, Clause D, which is the national dispute. And it says that the member will declare that in reference to any dispute of a national dimension arising from or related to the Constitution, regulations, directives, and decisions of JFF, that those disputes should only be referred to an independent and duly constituted arbitration tribunal, which shall definitely settle the dispute to the exclusion of any ordinary court unless expressly prohibited by legislation enforced in Jamaica. Okay, so
Yes.
that's the section that's very applicable to what's going on right now.
So that puts the entity that took them to court in a spot of bother then.
Yes, if that entity is considered to be a member of the federation.
But
Okay.
but the entity, the entity's leader is categorically stating
that they are a member.
That they are not a member.
Okay, so they're not a member. Okay.
So what they're saying is that because they are not accepted, they are not a member.
That the rule doesn't apply to them.
They put in an injunction to be accepted as an affiliate so that they can do their voting.
Correct.
How does that work in that scenario?
Under tier 3, so their argument is this, that Article 13, Clause D, does not apply to them, okay? Because according to JFF, they have not been accepted to membership yet,
right?
Okay, and so
it's not membership, it's affiliation.
Say again.
Well, is it membership or affiliation?
It's membership, and then once you become a membership, then once you become a member, then you can offer up your slate of delegates to participate in the voting process. Okay. So I mean, I suppose you can use kind of both of those terms interchangeable, because what they're asking for is they're asking for recognition, okay, by the JFF. And by a grant of that recognition it would allow them to participate in the electoral process, and so that's what their grouse is. That the JFF is not following its own rules, and because they're not following their own rules, they have been disadvantaged by not being accepted to become members, and their right to be able to vote is been infringed. So that's the argument they're making. Now, if they were a member, they would have to go through that prescribed dispute resolution process that the JFF has, and by extension FIFA has. But they're saying we're not a member, so we don't have to adhere to that. Now, here's the tricky thing about their argument. Okay, here's the tricky thing about their argument, and I think this is why ultimately the injunction was sought by a person in their individual capacity. They're also arguing that the JFF, by its own conduct, had done things to let them have a reasonable belief that they were okay, that they were a part of the setup already. That is one of their arguments. Based on what I was able to glean, one of the arguments that Beach Soccer is making is that that they were recognized by JFF based on the fact that JFF requested that they send 3 delegates to the September 24th
Congress.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So
being that they were accepted in Congress, they are saying that they are basically accepted.
True, except that when you read the rules, it doesn't suggest that they could ever be accepted that way. I mean, it's kind
unless
of
the vote is unless it was voted on.
Correct. Their membership has to go through go through a very specific process, and it including going through the board of directors and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, when I read the statute, I didn't see anywhere where JFF could constructively have consented to their admission. It requires a very specific process. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things that you have to do affirmatively. Okay, you have to issue a declaration saying you'll follow the dispute process for national and international dispute. You have to do a declaration that says that you are a national or legal body that's located and registered in a territory of the JFF, which apparently is an issue because they don't seem to have gotten their final registration authorization under the Company Act.
Sir De Bilton, is it that they misinterpreted that part of it, that they were accepted into Congress so that they are affiliated? Because when you go to Congress, isn't that you go there to be voted on to see if you would have been accepted as a part of the whole affiliation thing?
I mean, correct, because if what they're saying is true, now right now these are allegations, because they're saying they were told by JFF that they should send 3 delegates. Okay, Now, why would they be allowed to send any delegates if they have not been formally accepted into the fold? Now, there is a way where I think that conversation could have taken place and people could have misconstrued what it meant. Let's just say if the JFF was aware that this entity had already taken steps to be registered and to complete the formal process that would allow them acceptance as a member. Okay.
So football guru is saying that they could have been invited to Congress as observers, but not
correct.
as part of being affiliated.
Correct, but they wouldn't if that were the case. They shouldn't have received any correspondence relating to providing a slate of delegate. Okay.
Also, they received that.
That's what they're alleging, that they got communications from the JFF that they send delegates.
So somebody missed the mark then, man. Maranatha.
I mean, apparently, because like I said, if you go to Article 13 and you look at what it says about membership, there is a slew of things that you have to do to formally complete your application for membership. This is even before it's voted.
Can you read them out for the purpose of the streams persons who can't see it?
Yeah, sure. I can go through.
I don't like how the format is placed on. It's not readable.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to read.
It's small, and when you zoom it in, it just
lose pieces. Yeah, you lose pieces of the page.
Come on, JFF. Is it that was directly done?
You know what? I looked at it, and that has crossed my mind. And I said, you know what? Let me leave it at let me leave it at that. So, but I'll go through it real quickly. In order for a potential member not in order for a potential member, if you are applying for membership to under the Jamaica Football Federation, you have to complete a written application. Okay. And the application must be accompanied by the following, and this is a very important word: mandatory items. Okay. The application must be accompanied by the following mandatory items. Okay, and the mandatory items are as follows. You must include a copy. Whoever the applicant is, they must include a copy of their legal valid status. Okay, meaning they need to prove that they are registered and domiciled in Jamaica. Okay. There are instances where they may also need to provide a copy of their regulation. They have to include a declaration. I'm rephrasing it here, but I'm calling it a declaration of compliance. And essentially, what that says is the applicant declare that it will refer in the last instance any dispute of any national dimension arising or related to the Constitution, all of that kind of stuff, to the JFF, to an independent arbitration tribunal. Okay, and they will explicitly avoid taking this into what the statute says is ordinary court. Okay, and the only exception that it gives to that is unless there's an express prohibition by legislation enforced in Jamaica, where the Jamaican government says, if you do this, okay, then you have to come in front of our courts to litigate it. You can't litigate it internally. Okay. Section E it deals with the same thing. Okay. It says any international dispute between the Federation or a member of the Federation and another international body that has to go through FIFA or CONCACAF. And in the very last extreme, it can go to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. It also requires them to complete a declaration that they are a national or legal body located and registered in Jamaica, because that's where JFF controls. They also have to complete a declaration that the legal composition of the member, the applying member, allows it to be able to make its decision independent of any external influence, any external entities. Okay. They also have to declare that the members of the entity that's applying, that those members were elected or appointed as a result of a procedure that guarantees complete election or appointment. So their setup, whoever the member is that's applying, their setup is kind of has to mirror what JFF has. You gotta have a procedure for election. You gotta have a procedure for appointment. Those procedure should be free of outside external influence. They are required to provide a list of official, and that list should specify who among the applying entity has the authorization rights, meaning who's got the ability to bind that applicant to a contract. They must produce a copy of the minutes of their last Congress or constitutional meeting, and they also have to declare that they will submit annual reports, including the approved financial statement, budget, and certificate of compliance. So all of those things are mandatory. Okay, all of those things are mandatory. So if there is any one thing among that list that you didn't do, then by the letter of the law, you can't be a member.
Okay. So if you complete 7, or say there are 7 bullets that you have to complete, and if you do 6 or say 7 and you leave 1, that still does not fulfill the requirement.
Correct. Your application is incomplete, and I know I've heard some arguments that the JFF is making an argument that they denied them membership because their application wasn't complete. Okay, and one of the ways their application would not have been complete is that under Clause G of Article 13. If they are not registered as as a registered body under Jamaican law, whatever that law is, then that's probably why the JFF is saying your application is incomplete.
Can the courts order the JFF to accept them?
They can. The issue isn't whether the court
will it be legal?
FIFA is not. There's precedents to suggest that FIFA will not uphold it, because there was a similar issue, I believe, in Venezuela, and their Supreme Court got into the mix, and I think it had something to do with maybe elections and some election impropriety, and the Supreme Court ordered that the election process be redone, and FIFA wouldn't recognize it at all.
Okay.
So they're they're in a tough place, but I think the way they're trying to legally maneuver through that space is by structuring the challenge to be a challenge not from the entity that's applying for membership, but from a member of the entity that's applying for membership.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
All right.
Think about it this way. There's a dispute between ISA and Calabar. Okay. There's an ISA rule that says, hey, if you have an issue with ISA, it needs to go to arbitration. Okay.
Mhm.
Calabar doesn't want to go to arbitration because time is of the essence. Well, a Calabar teacher sues ISA. And then Calabar can say, hey, look, ISA, it's not us. We didn't sue you. Okay.
Oh.
One of our
Mhm.
teachers did.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that makes
So
it individualized than a consortium.
exactly. It's not the applying member association that is suing, but it's an individual member that is a part of that group. Now, you can argue that both ways, that constructively the associate the applying entity is still suing it. They're just couching it, gift wrapping it as if the
Mhm.
suit is being brought by a member. I'm sure JFF will probably try to make that argument that, hey, this is the Supreme Court. This doesn't even belong in front of you guys because per our Constitution, this is supposed to be dealt with individually. Okay,
Mhm.
and these people, this individual is suing, but in reality, it's not the individual that's suing. It's the association that's suing. They've just carved out a way for the suit to be brought by this individual to create the appearance that that the suit is not being brought by the applying member. Because at the end of the day, let's say the suit is successful, who benefits? It's not the individual member.
Yeah. But my question though, attorney, if say for example the courts say beach soccer will be admitted, they will take out the other entity that would have replaced them. That's
No,
one. Two.
no. The other beach soccer entity, they are. It's funny. I was doing some research earlier today, and I noticed on the annual report for 2022 that the other beach football association, I think that one is duly recognized under I call it tier 3, but I don't think that's the term of art that they use in the Constitution. But there are 3 levels to membership. The first being the
Pillars.
pillars. Yeah, they're under the 3rd pillar. So beach football association has already been is already duly registered and recognized by the JFF. And I don't think there is. I didn't see anything in the um, in the Constitution that says that there cannot be another beach soccer association. But you raise a very good point, and that point is beach soccer is a unique product unto itself. Can you have 2 national entity that it's representing beach soccer? Yeah.
But I don't think it can be 2. One has to be illegitimate and one has to be legitimate. So that's why I asked the question: if the court say you're admitted, what happens to the other one? One has to come out. That's what I want to know. Also, before you answer that too, there's another follow-up question to that. Because if they are admitted, who will vote if they are going to be banned because they took the entity to courts, to ordinary courts? How does that part of it goes?
Well, you got to remember that the company, the applicant that's moving to be included as a member right now, they don't have a vote. Okay, so if let's say the decision comes back and the court says, hey, yeah, you should be allowed to participate in that process, and FIFA jumps in and FIFA says, well, while the court ruled that you should have been allowed to participate in that process, and while we agree with that court ruling, you are still in violation of I think in the FIFA statute it's Article 61, which is mirrored in the JFF's own
Constitution.
own constitution under Article 13D, which is that if you have a dispute, that dispute has to be dealt with internally, and it has to go. If you can't resolve it, you have to go to arbitration. Okay, so they even if the court came back and said, yeah, you should have been allowed to vote, they're still they still didn't follow the process. They still didn't follow the process, and maybe it was a timing issue for them, where had they gone the route of trying to find an independent arbitration tribunal to bring their issues to, that the resolution would not have occurred in time to allow them to vote. And that's typically when you go get an injunction. You go to a judge and you say, hey, if you don't put a stop on this, I'm going to be irreparably hurt.
Okay, a question coming from the comment section is, will the JFF be required to provide proof that the entities that were recognized provided all the required documentation?
Generally, no. You wouldn't put that burden of proof on the JFF. That burden of proof would fall more on the moving party, the party that's seeking the injunction, because all they have to do is to show that one of the admitted member, the JFF, failed to follow its own policy. But to have the JFF prove that every single member was admitted in accordance with, that would put a particularly unique burden, evidentiary burden, discovery burden on the JFF, and most courts are not gonna let you do that. If you say I'm a thief, then you need to provide proof that I'm a thief. I don't need to provide proof that I'm not a thief.
Okay. But the argument still remains, these people are trying to get out the other association because they believe that it was, illegitimately formed based off what they tried to prove in terms of signatures being forged.
For you mean for the other beach association that was that was accepted?
Yes.
Okay. No, I mean, if there was impropriety in the admission process, then yeah, there should be a way to void that membership. In fact, the membership should be the membership should be rescinded. No questions asked. These are not rules that the JFF was forced to adopt. These are rules that they adopt of their own volition. And if you adopt a set of rules, then you can unilaterally choose when to apply and when not to apply those rules. That in the law we consider that to be arbitrary and capricious.
All right. It is theorized by many that these people are using a delayed tactic. What sort of tactic would you see coming out of this to delay the election? What other ammunition would you think that these people? I know you probably don't know all the ins and outs, but what come to mind to begin with?
Well, I mean, you kind of almost have to look at the process from the end result and then move backwards. So the entity that applied, or the people that applied for the injunction, okay, their objective is apparently to get a favorable ruling that says that they are a member, or they should be admitted to membership. That would then allow them to participate in the electoral process, meaning they could vote. Okay, and ostensibly, if they are allowed to vote, I'm sure they have some expectation that whomever they're going to vote for, that party will have a elevated chance of prevailing in the election. So that's the outcome. Okay, so the fact that they're filing for an injunction is they want a ruling on that one way or another. Even if the court is were to come back and say, hey, you know what, we looked at this and we clearly don't have jurisdiction after we've looked at FIFA statute and JFF Constitution and the whole 9 yards. Well, in the period of time where the case is pending in front of the Jamaican Supreme Court, that could potentially give them an opportunity to go put a case together so they can present in front of this independent arbitration tribunal.
Okay. And somebody is asking the question, is that one beach football vote that important? Well, one vote now can decide election.
I think I thought those guys got two. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think they get
Two votes.
Yeah, I think it's 2 votes that they get. I'm looking through my notes here, but I think it's 2 votes that they get. But as you alluded to, yes, that can be the difference in I mean, because you have to look at it from a holistic approach. If the other association is found to be illegitimate, then whoever they voted for, that goes away, assuming they're going to vote for the opposing party to the movement. So that's 2 votes that would be lost. That could potentially be lost for whoever the current association voted for. And so when you look at it, it'd be a net of 4 votes. So party A loses 2 votes. Okay, so now party B is 2 votes closer, and then party B gets 2 additional votes.
Okay. But you're being challenged, attorney.
That's fine. That's how the law works.
There's no Jamaican court that can compel the Jamaica Football Federation to admit beach football.
No, I don't recall in our conversation that was ever said.
Okay, so are you then suggesting that they are fighting a losing battle?
They may very well be. Look, the court is not going to step in and replace its legal judgment for what's in the JFF Constitution. Look, to be honest, Coach, the JFF Constitution says that even when an applying member meets all of the prerequisite, okay, they may be allowed membership. It doesn't guarantee them that. I mean, if people go and you look at the Article 14, where it talks about the board of director approving the regulations pertaining to admission, it says the board of director will request congressional approval or denial of membership. Okay. So once the board votes to, okay, yeah, we think we can let this person in, that still has to go through congressional approval, and the grant of membership is not automatic.
Okay, and I would think so, because if you have to go through the whole process of Congress to accept you, and because I hear Mr. Speed say it strongly, they're not going to accept them. So no matter what them come with, courts are no courts. I must see a courts with the furniture. I go help them.
They're but so look, the other thing that people on the side of the current administration needs to also understand is that FIFA is not without authority in this issue, because one of the things that FIFA specifically prohibits is self-dealing, right? And so, at the end of the day, if these people have met all the prerequisite to be admitted as members, okay, and FIFA is making a decision to exclude them from membership, and that decision is not grounded in equity, you could see a way where the FIFA process could step in and go, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. And they could, you could see an argument be made under Article 4 of the JFF Constitution, regarding discrimination against a person or group.
It seems sticky. It is not conclusive for me, because when you see and you read and you try to understand it, it is just one way for me. But then there might be other arguments that go other way.
There are arguments to be made on both sides, and that's we have two central issues here. There are arguments to be made on both sides. What is the proper forum to hear those arguments? JFF, the current administration, is saying the proper forum is through the JFF prescribed and FIFA endorsed process. Okay, the people who are seeking the injunction, their argument is that process doesn't work for us, and there's an aspect of Jamaican law that's outside of the scope of FIFA's power to regulate this process that requires that we take this into an ordinary court of law, because that's what like I said, Venezuela Supreme Court was determined to be an ordinary court of law by FIFA, and I don't see a way where they wouldn't rule similarly where Jamaica is concerned. So because at the end of the day, look, if you think about it, I want people to think about it this way: if the entity that's filing the injunction is not a member, okay, then they're not obligated to go through that process, are they? Okay, they're not obligated to go through that process. They can go sue in a regular court and get whatever judgment they get out of that process. And then once they do that, the question then becomes, is that judgment enforceable against the JFF and by extension FIFA?
The question Brendan is asking, what is the true reason for the beach football dispute? Is it a case where they need votes? Is it that they want to delay the election for some particular reason, or to bring up how it was formed controversially?
Well, Brendan, we can only speak about what we know. I try to find the information about the injunction on the Supreme Court website. There wasn't anything there when I looked, but so I mean, I would say that the Beach Soccer Association wants to take part in the voting process. Okay. And the only reason that one would want to take part in the voting process is to affect the outcome of the election. Yeah, we're just going to put 2 and 2 together, So I mean, I would assume that if they were going to vote for the current administration, then maybe it would not be an issue. I'm just presupposing. Okay. So maybe there is some motivation there to exclude them because their inclusion would result in them voting for for an opposing group. The other alternative is that they, based on JFF's interpretation of the rules, they were just not eligible. and and that's why they're out. Because we're at the end of the day, we're coming down to the Board of Elections. I think that's what they're called, or the Electoral Board for the JFF. They are the ones that ultimately, oversee the electoral process, for when the Congress is convened, and so. I mean, I know there was some mention, and you can kind of fill me in on this, Coach, about someone participating in some type of a process, and there was some type of a conflict of interest. I thought I heard Samuda and Mr. Spieth name referenced in regards to some type of conflict of interest. I didn't have any information specific to that.
That information, let me help you there. That information is alleged that Mr. Samuda was ran for the Jamaica Olympic Association post as president, and Mr. Speed was the campaign manager for him. Mr. Speed was on his team. Okay. So what they're saying is that it is going to be a conflict of interest to know that Mr. Speed helped him to win the election, then he might want to return a favor. That is the alleged argument out there.
Okay, now I can see that. I mean, because under JFF's own electoral code, their electoral code says that a member of the election committee shall withdraw immediately. Okay, if there is a risk or a possibility of a conflict of interest. That's their own words. That's not mine. That's what their rules say. If there is a possibility of a conflict of interest, that particular member should withdraw immediately. Okay. Now the question becomes, and I don't know how many members make up that that electoral committee, but let's just say there are 10 members on the electoral committee. Okay, and the vote was 10-0. Okay, I mean, the withdrawal of that member is not going to change the decision. It may call into question your decision making and your failure to follow your own rules related to conflict of interest. But you can make an argument that, hey, if we vote 10-0, kicking one person off of that voting panel is not going to change, would not have changed the decision.
All right, Danny Judd keep asking that. What about the alleged fraud? So if it is an alleged fraud and it is for the JA courts, not FIFA, how can we address that, Danny Judd, when you said alleged fraud? We don't know. The police and whoever have to do them investigation. We don't investigate criminal activities. So the police are gonna do that.
You're talking about the one where the signature is concerned?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean, I don't think the JFF could investigate that even if they wanted to. They're not a police body. They're an administrative body, and so they can at best JFF may would probably be able to go out and secure the services of maybe a private investigator to do some type of investigation, but they don't. They don't have the power in Jamaica to enforce any type of criminal statute whatsoever.
But Mr. Mann said that that's the RSA boss. He said that he has all the evidence to indicate that it is that sort of action, a fraud action.
Well, I mean, if he has that type of evidence, then that evidence calls into process that brings into focus the admission process for that particular entity, and may, in fact, if what he's alleging is true, it would void the admission for that particular entity. But the bigger issue of, so if the application process for this other entity was tainted by some type of a fraudulent action, the end result within the JFF would be to void the membership application of that entity. The larger issue of fraud as criminal conduct would be outside of the purview of the JFF to handle. That would be
right. That would be a police matter.
Exactly.
That will be has to be a police matter. CC, you're the boat. You have any question to ask?
No, I'm gonna ask. No.
I was gonna say one thing, Coach. So the JFF is required by their own constitution that when they convene an elective Congress, they have to send out a 60-day notice before the date of the election, which my understanding is they sent that out on November 2nd, 2023. It will be interesting to see if they send this entity, the one that applied for the injunction, if they were actually sent that notice. Because if they were sent the notice, that's kind of an indication that, hey, you may have considered them to have some status within the JFF. If they were never sent a notice, then that would be consistent with JFF's position that, yeah, we didn't consider you guys a member, so we didn't send you any notice.
Oh, sorry. May I watch a game? May I watch a game? My bad. Yeah, Devon Porter, welcome to the show.
Coach, thanks for having me. I just want to ask a question or two. So there is beach football and beach soccer. Which is the oldest entity that was registered?
It would be beach football, because they're the only one currently that is supposedly technically registered.
Okay, when was that registration took place?
You know what? I did not look to see when they were registered. I do know, as I was mentioning,
it was done in October, and I think
October of 22, right?
Yeah,
okay.
23.
Okay. Reason why I'm asking that question, I remember that when we played in a beach football World Cup or qualifiers or something like that, when Andrew Price was the coach of the beach football, soccer. So you're saying that entity at the time was operating illegally because they were not registered?
Well, I mean, that's so beach soccer is making the argument that the JFF, by their own conduct, had already recognized them. That's one of the arguments that they're making.
Yes, but
they should have been, because if they participate in a FIFA tournament, that should deem them recognized. Have the latest entity.
Mr. Porter, well, Dalton Wint at the time, I think he did some they actually stopped the whole beach soccer thing, because they said that no competition was playing, nothing was happening, and they just desist from being a part of it. So I'm wondering if it was that time.
What do you mean? But Andrew Price was the coach.
Mr. Porter, I understand what you say, but me I tell you one latest thing what happened under the then Gensec man.
That means the whole system is flawed.
I'm going to find the article. If you don't believe me, I'm going to find the article. Now go find the article that was written in one of our local newspaper.
Yeah, Coach Porter, I mean, I think I get where you're going, that at some point in time, there appear to have been some either explicit or tacit recognition of the beach soccer entity.
Yes,
but as Coach has said, that, I mean, it appears that there was some event that intervened between then and now, which have brought their status into question.
Okay, so if that was so, is so, why at the time they haven't asked the people to come in and make sure that everything is being on the table, being registered, all boxes are ticked, so they can be recognized?
Well, you know what?
Was it their job to do that?
I was just about to say, if you in the Constitution, okay, there is a couple of other documents that's attached to the Constitution, the Electoral Code, and I think there's another document called the Standing Order for the JFF conference. In those documents, they say that, hey, it's incumbent on people who are applying for membership to go familiarize themselves with the Constitution and any other supporting documents. So I don't think that as a general principle, the JFF has taken the position that they have to shepherd an entity applying for membership through that application process. I'm sure if the applicant were to reach out to the JFF, they may give them some type of referral, say, hey, you can talk to so and so. But as a governing body, typically that's something that you don't want to do, because it could be construed as favoritism. Hey, you help these federation in Kingston and San Andrew apply, but the ones over in Portland and St. Thomas, you don't want to help them. So, but the language in the Constitution and those two other documents that I refer in their totality encourages members and prospective members to read the Constitution and become familiar with what the requirements are to become a member of the Jamaica Football Federation.
All right, let me read this thing. It was published in one of our local newspapers. So the Jamaica Football Federation involvement in beach soccer appears to have come to an end after the association withdrew from the CONCACAF Championship set for May 21 to 23 in Costa Rica. The General Secretary Dalton pointed out that it was not feasible to continue the program or participate in tournaments, considering there was no development around the formats locally. The move ended Jamaica's unbroken participation in the CONCACAF beach football tournament since 2006. Although stating he understands the rationale behind the JFF's position, Coach Andrew Price is convinced that the country has significant potential in the format and believes it can provide opportunities for players once the necessary support is given. It has potential for growth. Captain Horace Burrell, former JFF president, wanted more investment in the sport and for players involved to concentrate solely on the sport. But we need to have a local league. And the last local league was played in 2006 when Red Stripe Light sponsored the competition, said Price. And the article go on and on and on and on. Me not have to go no further. So from 2006, no go on for beach soccer.
Hold on, Coach.
Hold on. So you're saying, Coach, because they withdrew from the tournament, citing it can be monetary because they don't have the money to put in it and they don't have a league per se. That doesn't mean that the entity is null and void. You got to understand that.
No, I never said that. I never said that. I just read the article.
Coach D, I don't think he said that. He was just recounting the explanation.
I just read the article, Devon. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that you read the article, but what happened down the road, which is now, it seems because of that becomes dormant.
No, we can't say that. No, Coach Porter. Coach Porter, we cannot say it is because of that. I just read the article, so they end their association with them. It can be interpreted as that, but we don't know. Well, I don't know. If you want to interpret it as that, that is up to you.
Coach Porter.
Coach Porter. I'm listening.
Yeah. So Coach Minzy made a good point. So the Constitution allows for the JFF to expel or suspend a member. The question then becomes that utterance from the Gen Secretary. What exactly was that? Was that an expulsion?
Exactly. That is the question. So that's why I say we don't know, because I wouldn't know if that is the reason or if it was an expulsion by the JFF, because they weren't doing anything.
Correct. It could just have meant the JFF is just withdrawing financial support, and that's it.
That's what it interprets.
That you can interpret it that way, but
that's
like
one
I said,
interpretation.
That's one interpretation. It could also, it could also be, is this some type of an expulsion? I mean, I get where you are, Coach Porter. I would say that if you're going to expel somebody from the membership,
gentlemen,
then by
keep
rule,
talking. Give me a second.
Okay, by rule, that expulsion should follow a more formal protocol, not just an utterance by the Gen Secretary in some type of publication. So yeah, I don't disagree with you, but again, this is a situation where we've got a lot of competing arguments, and people are arguing parts of the Constitution, parts of Jamaica law that they think best supports their position. In reality, we shouldn't be in this predicament. I told Coach the other day, anytime you're talking about the federation and the administration more than you're talking about the sport and the players, we got a problem.
We got a problem. Absolutely.
We got a problem. And so, at the end of the day, I mean, this comes down to, and I know I've listened to you on a number of forums, this comes down to, again, competency. Okay. We have to be consistent in the way we do things. When we put rules in place, we got to be sticklers for the rule, because when you're not, I mean, this is not like 1960 or 1980. Everybody's got an IG account. Everybody's got a Twitter account. Everybody can jump on any one of these platforms and talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. And so it is a requirement for these administrators to conduct themselves in a way that's above reproach, and doesn't leave so many issues up for question, because whenever there are issues that's left up for question, that's the basis for litigation.
Absolutely, and it raises doubt for a lot of things.
No, correct. I mean, it affects a lot of things that we do. I mean, we're actively out, we're trying to recruit, okay? And then they look, and the federation that's asking them to come play for them, that federation can't get its ducks in a row. You're talking about the cost of litigation, okay, for the JFF. Over the last couple of years, they've consistently told us that they're in the red, they're in the red, they're in the red. And now here you are having to litigate an issue, which means you're spending money that you don't have, or you supposedly don't have. So what's the old saying? An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. That's how they ought to that's how they ought to operate. I mean, we just it's almost like they need an outside consultant to help them with their governance issue.
There's a question there by AM Henry. Big up yourself, AM. If Beach Football thought they were already affiliate, why did they reapply last month for membership? That's news to me.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, Coach, because remember, Beach Soccer raised the issue of being registered under the Company Act. So I look in I can't.
Is this under the new constitution, or in this constitution that we have here? Is it that they have to be registered under the Companies Act? Was that a requirement in the past?
I mean, I have not looked at the old constitution, but I know the new constitution requires that the entity be registered, and the only way you can't register through the JFF. You have to register as an association or company through
with the register of companies downtown.
Correct.
And you have to have a stamp of approval.
Where Miss Coach Devonport are downtown?
It used to be downtown on King Street. I don't know if they moved it.
I cannot come to Jamaica long time, boss.
I haven't been for a while.
It's a New Kingston now. Okay.
Yeah, man.
I haven't been for a while, CC, but I know the register of companies because I operated a business in Jamaica, and I have to register my company down there, so I know where it was.
So it's in all right. So it's in New Kingston, and the process is even simpler now for a lot of things, because I think certain documentation that you had to sign with multiple agencies, they can just sign at the company's office and they deal with everything. It's linked to the different agencies.
By the way, as you said, do you know anybody who works in there?
No, I know the bill. I know the office right there.
Okay, there's a dreadlocks guy named Andrade. I can't forget him. He was the one who that did my documentation.
There's a question.
It's on Knutsford Boulevard.
Yeah, there's a point that was made in the comment section,
Mm-hmm.
by XLR 8 Sports. Beach Soccer Jamaica was registered with the company's office 17th of September last year, and the Beach Football Association 17th of October last year. So when you look on it, both are newly formed organization.
Okay, so I guess my question would be between in Canada and the United States, when you register a company, okay, you have a administrative requirement to keep that registration active. Okay,
active.
You have to file your annual report. You got to pay whatever fees you have to pay. Is this an issue where Beach Soccer did not pay? Did not complete certain administrative step? Is that what it is? Because JFF, the current administration, is saying that they were not duly registered. I thought that's one of the arguments that I heard. So if as the person in the comments said that they were already registered, was there an intervening event that called that registration into question? Meaning, were they administratively suspended?
That's a very good question.
That's a good question too. Yeah.
Because if they were not, you would think that requirement under Article 13 that says include a copy of its legal valid status, that they would be able to do that post haste. They shouldn't have any problems doing that. So there's a lot that's going on factually underneath the veneer of all this kind of legal wrangling that people like us looking from the outside is not privy to. I will say this, for all the people out there in the Jamaican fraternity that's listening, we all need to put some pressure on the JFF. They need to do a better job of posting their constitution on their website where it's viewable to all their fans and you can actually read it. Okay? The way they've got that thing formatted, and it's almost like reading by Braille.
Yeah.
It almost like when I looked at it today, I go, man, surely they're not trying to encourage people to read this.
Not even a magnifying glass could have helped you read that. Because once it gets bigger, it's like the words will start fade.
Yeah, it jumps pages. It's not their best work. And that's in today's day and age. We're in 2024. It should not be very difficult for them to post a PDF copy, or link to a PDF copy of that document on their website.
Because you can lock PDF and even though you have a lot of websites that can convert it, but you can always lock it.
Yeah, you can precisely. You can lock the PDF, or if you don't want to put it as a PDF, I mean, you can post it as an HTML page.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, when I saw that, I was a little disappointed. I mean, even where it's located, you have to go into about the JFF, and then you got to go through some other different steps.
Jason Guna said on his phone him not have no problem reading it,
I can see it on my phone, but it's very, very small, Jason. I mean, you can blow it up on your phone, but I mean, that's where I started. I pulled it up on my phone first, and then I ended up pulling it up on my laptop. And when you get into it in the laptop, I literally had to go to small print, then blow up one page, get the text off of that, then reduce it, then go to the other page, then get the text off of that. Because if I do, if I do expanded text and then try to scroll through it, it has a tendency to skip pages.
Yeah, that's why last time I did say it's kind of difficult to find if you don't know. You have to search you. Skip is saying the question is, wasn't Raymond Anderson there when the rules were written? He was fine with it until he decided to run shit made.
No, but I mean, I don't think that's an accurate characterization. Being present when a rule is written, okay, doesn't mean
you can't
you can't challenge it when you feel like the rule is being violated. He's not challenging the rule; he's challenging the application of the rule.
Yeah, but
no,
also,
I don't think that's what the person.
If applying for registration through the JFF is not your portfolio, you wouldn't see the documents anyway. I don't care who you are.
You shouldn't.
Applying for what?
Membership.
If you're applying for a membership and that's not your portfolio, you probably wouldn't see the documents anyway.
No, it's not seeing the document, Sir Devon. We're talking about the Constitution. I think Skip is talking about the Constitution. He was there when the Constitution was voted up on and everything was put in place. So why he now has a problem with whatever is happening?
Right. Yeah, I don't think he has a problem with the Constitution. It seems like he's got a problem with how it's been applied.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to interpret what Skip is saying.
Okay.
Cranky, you were saying something.
No, it's around the same point, which is, I think what Skip is saying, it was convenient when you were part of the organization. It's no longer convenient when you're not, in terms of the legitimacy of the organization, as also being said, which is it's about the application. But when I read through Section 13, some things are still ambiguous, but some things are clear as day, I would call it.
Touchdown.
And the question is, if you are one of the three pillars and you are adhering to all the requirements stipulated under Article 13, then I assume that you would be accepted as a member. If there's a dispute, the question is how that dispute gets resolved. I would say what Skip is also talking to, which is if you are the opposition and you believe that you have the votes to win the election, you would have ensured that whatever party going to vote for you, they meet all the requirements, right? Just to make sure you have that surety when we get to this point, actually. So
Stan,
the question is,
and maybe that's what's been happening now.
One second, why haven't you done your due diligence to make sure you satisfy all the requirements of the Constitution, and therefore we'll not be in this situation? We may still be in this situation, given how they interpret this. Go ahead.
Stan, let me ask you this: when you read that Section 13, right? Those requirements are mandatory, are they not?
Yeah, they appear mandatory.
Right, right. Based on the language of the Constitution, they appear mandatory. So I'm with you on that. If any one of these criteria is not met, there is no wiggle room. If we are going by the letter of the statute, which if you either do this and you're in, or you don't and you're not.
Right. Yep. And part of the reason why, what Minzy was saying earlier, which I've asked a question about. So say the courts, and we've talked about this somewhat. So let's say the courts mandate that the process be revisited because they've gotten enough evidence to say, given facts and circumstances, the beach entity, or the one that's suing, has been disadvantaged by the JFF, has not been treated fairly, and they should revisit the process. And the JFF says, yes, we will accept you as part of the organization. Aren't they now in violation of FIFA's ruling, which basically says members cannot sue or have to follow their process and not go through local courts to get this done?
Well, that's a very technical issue, okay? Because if the determination is that beach soccer was always a member and they were just disenfranchised in the voting process, then yes, you are correct, because the Article 13 speaks specifically to national dispute, and that those are supposed to go through an independent tribunal, and they are supposed to exclude, quote unquote, ordinary courts. And so, yes, if they are a member, as things stand right now, and they were a member at the time they brought this challenge in court, then yes, I would agree, based on Article 13, they would be in violation of Clause D.
Right. There's also a clause here, Clause H, which says a declaration to the effect that the legal composition of the applicant guarantees that it can make decisions independent of any external entity.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question. I don't know if the opposition, quote unquote, is an entity, but it would appear that the decisions being made by the Beach Soccer Association, or the one that's suing, is being influenced or being managed by the opposition, frankly. Even though they've gone to great length to say, we're not affiliated, but I'm not sure. I think they've been disingenuous in saying that.
That you may very well be true, but that's going to be a factual determination. I mean, JFF would have to, would have to be able to put together a case showing, hey, there's communication between these guys. But yeah, I mean, from a benefit, who benefits from this point of view, that's a reasonable conclusion. I mean, if beach soccer is successful, who benefits?
Yeah, and I would assume that the reason why the JFF formed their own organization, I'm gonna call it that, their own beach soccer organization, is that they have looked at the requirements, align it with the organization that's now suing, and basically saying they don't qualify. And by the way,
we're already doing the job.
Clearly show that we have met all the requirements, including budget, annual reports, signatories, all of that. Now, the question about the legitimacy of signatories in terms of registration has been raised, and there's a lot around that that's being raised by the opposition about some fraudulent situation occurring. But I'm sure the JFF have gone through each of these items here, through items N, to ensure that they satisfy this. Now, whether or not they can stand up to scrutiny is a different question, but I'm sure they've probably gone through that. And that's why they're disqualifying the entity that's suing actually, because they have met all the requirements.
That's my
Stan.
Stan.
Yeah.
Here's a question. What if on that checklist, I hope there's a checklist that you're gonna give to that individual who forms that association to say these are the requirements, and you have to have all the boxes checked, but something was missing deliberately. What if?
What do you mean something was missing deliberately? Is either
from the checklist?
Oh no! But the checklist in that case, Devon, the applicant, the entity that's applying for membership, it's their responsibility to go see what the requirements are under Article 3. That's not Article 13. They're not supposed to consult the JFF for that. Typically organizations like that, you typically don't want to provide that type of advice to an applying entity, because you're going to have some favoritism and conflict of interest issues there if you're doing it for one and you're not doing it for all.
So here's what I'm hearing actually. Okay, I'm going to make some assumptions myself. Here's what I think probably happened. I may be way off on this, but it's my assumption. This beach organization applied to the JFF, trying to satisfy these rules. The JFF realized that there's some deficiency in the application. They went out and registered their own organization, ensured they met the requirements.
Right, and preempted this other entity.
And preempted,
exactly. So, yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So they registered a month subsequent to the registration.
Right.
So
right, and that raises a bigger issue there, Stan, which is if that's in fact what the JFF did, then you've got an issue of conflict of interest, self-dealing, that sort of issue, because the people who are running that entity, I think some of those people are on the board, some type of a board or committee within the JFF at this point in time.
Yeah, no, we don't have conflict of interest in Jamaica. Or self-dealing with that doesn't apply. No, I'm not joking, people. No, I mean seriously, you guys are laughing.
No, I get you from a practical matter. Yeah, I agree.
But the country then doesn't operate. The country doesn't work if we don't have that.
Yeah.
So let's say that's innate to the environment we operate in, and it's accepted behavior. Seriously, I mean, think about it. Speed is a coach. Thompson, Speed, all of them are conflicted. So, and the opposition did make about 4 or 5 instances they have shown of Samuda, who heads up the electoral committee, being conflicted, of Speed being conflicted. They haven't talked about Wayne Thompson and their team being conflicted, frankly, but they have shown a number of cases where conflict resides in the process, so therefore it should disqualify the committee chair because it's going to make decisions which are not fair. There's a bunch of stuff they've pointed out, but I am not joking when I says
I agree.
They're conflicted. Yeah.
I agree. And I mean, if you follow their own rules, it says where the conflict exists or where there is an appearance of the conflict, that you should withdraw.
Yeah. But will persons withdraw? The next question, gentlemen, is that what the question? Oh, the case against Mr. Ricketts, will it allow him not to be eligible after all? Is it that they are trying to delay the process for that impending case against Mr. Ricketts?
That's that's a very interesting case. So let me take first stab at it. So the case involving Ricketts and the gentleman from Clarendon, the defamation case. Last I checked, defamation is a tort issue, meaning it falls under civil law. It's not a criminal law issue. And so the way the rules are written, as it talks about potential disqualification for someone like Mr. Ricketts. It specifically talks about disqualifications for after being found guilty of some type of a criminal conduct, of which I don't think defamation would fall into that area at all. Now, there is an argument to be made probably under Article 4, because Article 4 says that we're not allowed to discriminate of any kind against a person, private or group. You can't discriminate based off of sexual orientation and things of that nature. And so if the argument is being made that Mr. Ricketts' conduct is a manifestation of his discriminatory tendencies, towards people of a certain proclivity, then you may make an argument that the finding is incompatible with his position. The fact that they say a criminal offense, that for me, that's going to be a problem for them for him to be excluded, based on I think it's Article 23. I think that comes up under. I don't think the criminal offense standard will apply to the defamation suit. So they're going to have to find some foundational issues elsewhere in the Constitution, and maybe Article 4.
So I know we have talked about the JFF being incompetent and inept, but they're not incompetent and inept when it comes to staying in power and doing what's necessary to achieve that goal. And they're not. I mean, you guys just look at this entire process, and how they run this process. And they've been brilliant in running this. And by the way, as was just said, I am sure they wrote this Constitution subsequent to the defamation case. And as such, I'm sure they would have considered it when they put this together. And if they probably would have expanded this not to be criminal. But
I don't think so, doing a cranky, because remember,
it's subsequent to the defamation case.
No, but I wouldn't.
Wasn't it finished after the defamation case?
The defamation case got decided in 22, I think.
Yeah.
So when was this written?
This probably not a same year there.
I think it's probably in that same period, because remember they got some FIFA gave them some guidance to make some some
early changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even so, guys, the case has been going on for a while before the decision, the final decision in the case, doesn't mean they haven't contemplated or.
Well, they had time, because the case was from 2017, right? Yeah, the case.
Yeah, but they had time to consider this.
I don't think that they put.
I'm gonna give them credit for being that smart. I'm gonna give them credit for being that smart. I am giving them credit for being that smart.
Can I ask a question here? In terms of the Constitution, if there's any adjustment, isn't the original wording supposed to be there, and then secondary it says amended?
No, not if you amend and restate.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're just amending, then a lot of times when you go into the document, you'll see where the changes are made. But if it's an amended and restated, the restated documents will include all of the amendments and then the text that's held over from the original document.
Okay.
But by the way, let me just say something. I'm just making a comment, and we move forward, not derailing the conversation. But I just looked at Article 4. It says it has 4 words or 3 words: non-discrimination and equality. Let me repeat: non-discrimination and equality. No qualification around that word. So I assume that means there should be no discrimination in any way, shape, or form, and there should be equality in all aspects as related to the operation of the JFF.
Stan, you're trying to stir up the hornet's nest. I see what you did there.
I'm going to move forward. I just said I won't derail the conversation, but I'm making a point for a reason for a later day.
Cranky stepping on this month.
I got you. You know, there that goes to a lot of places, including the issue of quota, but we'll leave it for another time.
Yes, we leave that for now. We're gonna come back to that.
You know, so but I mean, like Coach and I were talking earlier, Devan and Stan, and I know you in particular, Stan, you've made reference to this in multiple conversations that I've seen you guys have. So my question is, like, what is the way forward? Because it's it's almost like the JFF is a circular firing squad. Like whatever good they do, we seem to find a way to undermine it or to stall whatever progress we have made. It's like, what is the solution?
Well, I think we're making progress despite the JFF, not because of the JFF. What do I mean by that? So most of the progress we have made is on the field of play, not necessarily outside the field of play. One could say the Adidas contract is outside the field of play in some respects, and they should be given credit for that. But the problem you run into is that they've done so much things which have been negative in the public eye, that it derails or supersedes or overrides whatever they've done that may be good. So you can't see or hear the good because they've done so much things which are negative. And the perfect example is with the girls, for example. I've said a number of times, both sides are culpable in the JFF versus the girls situation. But if you're the administration and you're the adults in the room, you have to come to a point where these things get resolved. And so you can manage the public perception, and how the public view you. And they have done an awful job of that, right? And that just cascades and overshadows everything. They've had problems with both the men's team and the women's team. They've had a lot of financial problems, which they inherited from the previous regime before Ricketts came in. But they've also lacked transparency unless they want to influence how you think. And that's why they come on these programs, frankly. So, so for example, we would ask the question around the financial statements. We want to see them. First of all, they're very, very dated. They're dated, they're old. And then when we ask the question, they disappear from their website. It's supposed to be public. And then they say to us, oh, go to the FIFA website to get it. They're on the FIFA website. Why are we going to FIFA when you have a website? And you had them on the website because you're hiding them. And because we go through them in detail, we're challenging what's there. They get uncomfortable. They camouflage these things. We went on the FIFA website. You could search from now to Kingdom Come. You cannot find those financial statements. That's just examples, right? I give examples, and I'm getting granular here with Chung when I interviewed him and the girls. I said, when you send an email, CC the other representative. Oh, we can't do that. That's undermining the agreement in terms of how we negotiate. Are you kidding me? Call the girls and ask each of them, did they receive the money? We can't do that. We're stuck in the process. No, you can't do that because you don't want to do that. You don't want to engage them. Right. So I don't want to go to all the minutiae of all of this, but the point I'm trying to make is that they have done so much to derail their own accomplishments that the perception is going to be extremely negative, even though you're inferring there may be a number of good things that are happening under their regime. They're not going to get credit for them. And that's sad, actually. Right? That's sad.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I even, and maybe you've looked into this a little bit more than I do, because there is a requirement, I think in Article 67 or something like that, or 61, can't remember which one, the independent external auditor. But I don't, because I know you say it don't exist, and this is probably going to be an example that highlights that. You can't have and I don't know that they have, but you would have a provision in your constitution that talks about you getting an independent external auditor and then setting a limit on how many years you can actually use that individual, because at some point in time, if the relationship goes beyond a number of years, then again, there is an issue here where is the internal auditor doing what he or she is supposed to do under the accounting rule, or as that business relationship gotten to the point now where they may be cutting you some slacks where they don't. I mean, I know on the state side, that's one of the things that they did in SOX and Sarbanes-Oxley is to say, hey, look, you can only have an independent auditor for so many years, and then you got to rotate them out and rotate somebody else in. I didn't.
So I can talk to that because I'm in that field. So the normal courses you have, and this is not universal, and mainly only apply to public companies, not necessarily private companies. But you should rotate your auditors, say, after 7 years, right? It's a 7-year rule, actually. It was even in play before Sarbanes-Oxley was in play. That came in terms of play early 2000. And that's good practice. You're talking about external audit.
Yeah.
So some companies don't do that, right? They may have an auditor for 10, 15 years. But the point people don't realize in audit is that an auditor can only audit based on
the information you give them. Yeah.
Well, you give them the accounting rules that govern this. And they may not audit your policy about reasonableness. So, for example, if I decide to take 20 trips utilizing JFF funds, if it's in the JFF principles and rules that govern what they said, it's okay. Even though a reasonable person may say this is not appropriate. Not everybody should be flying to every sporting event that JFF is involved in or taking first class, tickets to go to events if it's under a certain number of hours flight. These things may not be deemed reasonable by a normal everyday person, but it could be okay in their constitution or their policy and procedures, and therefore the auditor cannot say it's inappropriate. They have to say it's okay, it's within their guidelines. So I think people have to understand that. But the point I'm trying to make about their financials is that, they're very, very dated. They're like a year and a half late. Nobody cares. You've moved on, right? If you have a deal with Adidas and it kicks in now, say in 2020, January 2023 kicks in, and they got to give me financials from December 2022, and we're now in 2024, the information is stale. Who cares? So I try to impart that the speed is going to play the rule about, well, this is our process and all that. And so transparency is also a problem for the JFF.
No, correct.
And you can understand why, right? You can understand.
Yeah, correct. Even those accounts that the external auditor audit, according to the Constitution, they can only audit accounts approved by the Finance Committee. So I'm assuming there could potentially be accounts that the Finance Committee does not want an auditor to look at, and so they don't look at it.
Yeah, they probably would have to qualify them though in their financials, in the notes of financials. And again, you'd have to read through the notes to say what was allowed, not disallowed. There's going to be a principle of accounting section in the first paragraph that subsequent to the actual numbers that talks to this. You'd expect that to be there. But I do think, look, the JFF can do much better. And to go back to your original point, which is, shouldn't it be a balanced argument? We talk about the JFF, which is give them credit for what they've done well. And you maybe can challenge or criticize them for what they've done well. But they've done so many things poorly that all you can see is the negativity and not the things that may deem positive. Which is unfortunate.
Well said.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot here. I got to read through the Constitution in detail. I've glanced through it. I haven't gone through in detail. I need to read through it.
Yeah, I mean, like I think once you get to probably in the 30s, there's a lot of fluff between Articles 30 and then when you get up into Articles 50, a lot of procedural stuff that that's probably not germane to what they've got going on, right now. But again, I mean, like you've alluded to, I mean, anytime you have rules and then you choose not to follow your own rules, you're gonna create issues. You're going to. I mean, even for the people within your organization that you think you're buddy with, the moment you don't follow those rules and their interest is infringed upon, they're going to use those same rules that you have refused to follow over the months and years, and they're going to challenge you. And I think that's that may part and parcel be what we've got going on here. So it's just that their application of good corporate governance has left a lot to be desired. And as Stan says, because of that, I mean, there's a tendency for us to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, the stuff that they do poorly stinks so much that you sometimes forget that there are some things that they have done that that's moving us in the right direction.
Yeah, I think two things. One, I think they had this election rubber stamped, victory was easy. Then they had this wrench thrown into the whole thing with Anderson decided to become the opposition and putting together a very formidable team. And I've always said this, don't take this wrong, that when lawyers get involved, we're in trouble. It's the first thing. When lawyers get involved, you're in trouble. Especially smart lawyers. You're in real trouble.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be offended because that's something that I know to be very, very true. It gets very, very expensive. Okay. Yep. When you have to get into the legal system and good governance, you try to head those things off before before you get there. I mean, even if it's something as simple as going in front of an independent tribunal, in a lot of those instances, you're still having to go out and get lawyers. They're billing by the hours and they're not cheap. It's something that we don't, the JFF, needs to become more cognizant of, and they need to avoid it. This is an unnecessary expense. I know
it is actually.
I know later in the year you're going to hear that they don't have money for this and they don't have money for that. Well, this is why you don't have money.
Right. Yeah. The second thing you mentioned earlier, which was really, I'm not sure people thought about it and realized what you said, that we're talking about 4 votes, not 2 votes. Right? Which is very important because when you have 56 votes, so you're going to win with what? 29? 29, because 29 is a majority, more than 50%. And if you don't have all the parishes, you're missing about 3 or 4 of the parishes, which is about 6 to 8 votes. Take away another 4 votes, at 10 votes. It starts getting sticky, isn't it? And so it is 4 votes that they'll be losing because the organization would not be the one being in tier 3. And so you lose 2 and you add 2, that's 4 for the JFF. That's why you probably see them fighting against this, because you never know which organization may decide not to change their mind at the last minute. So you don't make sure it's a surety in terms of the number of votes that you can count on, because you never know how these things work.
Yep.
So that's why that fight will not go away, because neither party will acquiesce. Actually,
no, the gloves are off.
Yep, definitely. Where's Minzy? Went to bed.
Coach
went to sleep.
Minzy probably dropped asleep, man.
No, I think Minzy probably watching the game. No, I don't think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he said there was some kind of game going on, so I'm not sure which one he's watching.
Oh, the Detroit and Rams.
Right. I don't think either side is going to give in. I don't think the opposition, as I said before, the opposition is like Trump. If they win, it's all fine. If they lose, it was rigged. And I'm not sure they don't have I'm not saying they don't have an illegitimate case or cases in this instances, but they have no intention of losing or going away. The question is, will they burn the house down to achieve their objective? Or will they at some point, go ahead.
No, that is true. That is true, because like I said, the issues are very, very technical. You know what I mean? Like, if beach soccer, are they a member or are they not? You know what I mean? Because like I said, the structure of how the litigation has proceeded thus far kind of tells you the awareness of the party, because one of the first things that was said was that, hey, look, Beach Soccer Association, or whatever their name is, we're not the one that's bringing this injunction. It's one of our members that's doing it, and I think they did that specifically to avoid Article 13, Section D, which requires that dispute among the members be dealt with in a particular way, which they would be in contravention of if they were the one that was actually suing the JFF in a quote unquote ordinary court.
I thought they said they weren't affiliated with them.
But
isn't that what they're saying?
No, they said they're not.
They're not affiliated, correct?
Yeah.
So that means they're not a member of their organization, is what I'm gathering they're saying. Because if they said they were a member, then they're sort of one and the same, aren't they?
Well, you can make I mean, you can make an argument that that's an end around. You know what I mean? Like this.
No, it is an end around. Yeah.
Yeah. This individual is a member of your organization, so because you can't bring the suit at an organizational level, you've empowered one of your members to do it on your behalf. I mean, that'd be the argument that the JFF has made. So I don't know if the lady, Miss Garrow, whatever her name is, if she, whatever association she may have been a member of, whether or not she's relinquished that membership, and then because she's relinquished that membership, has brought the suit for the injunction.
Right. Well, they've gone through such a process, a painful process. I wouldn't call it painful. They have been clearly explicit, and they have continually to apprise everyone to say, this is an independent body that's bringing this litigation. It's not us. We're not bringing it. It's not affiliated with us, actually. I heard this from Dave Cameron.
Yeah.
I think I heard this from Tom. So there are a number of them who have come out, and they're taking painstaking measures to make sure it's clear to everyone that it's not the opposition bringing the litigation, because they have to do so.
So ultimately, that's a factual determination. It's not what you say. It's ultimately what you can prove.
Right. Yep.
So both companies were registered a month apart. So which one, even though the wording is different, soccer and football, which one takes precedent and which one is accepted?
I mean, I would say, Coach Porter, that at the end of the day, I wouldn't focus on when they were registered under the Company Act. I would focus on when they were actually granted membership by the JFF. I think that would be the controlling factor there.
Well, I would probably think of that and say it depends on when the parties satisfy all the requirements and when the decision was made to approve or disapprove membership, right?
Correct.
If they satisfy the requirements, but you disapprove them, that means that's where the contention comes in.
Correct.
And you ratify the other organization that came in.
Correct.
So I think that's going to be the interesting point there, which is, did you meet all the requirements? And if you met all the requirements, why weren't you ratified?
No, correct. No, it's no. I don't know if you had time to look at Article. I want to say it's Article 11, which is the wording in art.
Yeah, man. If you look at the Article 11, because we're supposed to close off now upon the 3-hour mark.
Okay.
Just learning. But just go through that article.
Yeah, so Article 11 essentially says Congress shall decide on all admission, expulsion, or suspension of members. And it goes on to say admission may be granted if an applicant fulfilled the requirement. Well, the flip side of that is, there appears to be, the way the language is written, there appears to be circumstances under which an applicant may fulfill all of the requirement and still not be accorded membership.
So I have a question on that one, actually, because that makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. That means you're playing a game here.
Yes.
May be or shall be or will be a different words. Right? If you say maybe, that means I make the ultimate decision if you satisfy the requirements to accept you as a member, which cannot be okay.
It cannot. No, it's. I mean, it's. For one, it doesn't put the applicant on notice of what particular actions may result in their disqualification from membership. That's a problem.
And here's the thing. If you are the governing body and you have all the powers to go through a document to see that every boxes are checked, and then you can accept them and approve them, I mean, what would you do?
Well, to Stan's point, it is a problem if the language in your governing document says, if I do everything that you tell me I'm supposed to do, I can still tell you no.
Exactly.
That's a
the
problem.
the only way maybe granted could work is like in this case where you have two beach administration, right? So one has already been granted membership, so you're automatically disqualified because only one can be in that category. And to me, then the language should be a little bit more different. How you think about it, can't be maybe, or maybe means that it's at the sole discretion of the Congress, regardless of what the requirements are.
Well, I mean, you would think that is something that you would have in your constitution that says that we can have two St. Andrew, or Kingston and St. Andrew association. There can only be one association. You know what I mean? There can only be one intercall. There can only be one, Jamaica Referee Football Association. That kind of stuff. You think you would specify that?
What we can say, if we were to vote from a layman standpoint, football versus soccer, who would that give?
What do you mean football versus soccer?
Come on, coach. Come on, coach.
Coach, I'm gonna go with football because that's that's the original name of the sport. Soccer.
No. Peter 3 said Beach Football Association.
But that's the cranky. The words may I play upon now.
Yes, but at the same time, at the same time, we live in a new world, and wording change, things change.
World.
So I mean, in Canada we say soccer. In America you say soccer.
Devon,
so
Canada and America alone use the word.
No. The world is adopting.
No.
If you listen to if you listen to the English or the European on a whole, they said soccer / football.
No,
that's how they speak now.
I don't.
Yes, they do.
That's how. Devon,
you're reaching up, Mr. Porter.
Yeah, Devon. Let me tell you something. My defining moment will be when all these federations start calling themselves the Jamaica Soccer Association. I think right now most of the national associations still go with the word football.
So Devon, this is a US term. Wait 1 second.
FIFA never says soccer, FIFA says football.
So let me just say this, Devon, because you may not realize, Devon. It's a US term, and because Canada is the 51st state, they've adopted it.
Exactly. Only US and Canada call it so. Everywhere else in the world of football. That me know. Anyways, gentlemen, it was a very good discussion. Honestly, a lot of things came out. Who the persons who were listening from either, I know them are listening from either slate. I guess they are gonna take a lot to help their cause. I don't know them are gonna help them cause. Or them lawyers probably have to help them, but good discussion nevertheless. And I'll give everybody an opportunity to give them final thoughts, starting with CC. CC, I watch football too. All right. Devon Porter. Just half time, 21-17.
I'm not going to say a lot. All I want to say is that I think there is flaws in the system, and until we get our house in order, all these things going to continue to happen.
Okay. Mr. Bertram, cranky.
So I would say in life, no one has a monopoly on intellect and information. And you should try to source all the information as much as possible and collate it and use it for your benefit. Why do I say that? JFF took their constitution, hid their constitution from public domain. And now we're seeing all these holes and gaps and things they could have done better. I know Neo had looked at the constitution, wanted to make some input, and they refused, they hid it. So my suggestion to JFF is compromise is not a bad word. Transparency is not a bad word. Integrity is not a bad word. And I think they need to realize that if they put their ego aside, if they work for the common good, if they get someone to give them some patriotism juice to drink, then we'll be in a very good place and a better place, and they won't be as challenged as they are. And if they try to do the right thing and the fair thing and equitable thing, most times, or at least try to do it all the time as possible, then they will be working on behalf of the entire constituency of what we consider Jamaica, which I've always said is not just a rock. And they will help all of us to enjoy the pleasure and the benefits of our football teams, not our soccer teams, our football teams, Devon, because we want the team to do well. We want to support the team. We want to be proud of the country. We know how much it helps to brand the country. And all they're doing with their behavior is they can't destroy the brand, because the brand is a huge brand and it cuts across a lot of different disciplines, but they're not helping the football brand at all. And they have to subjugate their egos and the way they operate for the larger good. We have to succumb to the larger good and not just try to be the know-it-all, be-all, which is always getting them in trouble. That's my 2 cents.
All right, attorney.
Yeah, coach, all I have to say is this. Albert Einstein is reputed to have said, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. At some point in time, JFF has to understand that the status quo has not worked. Okay. It hasn't worked for the benefit of the development of Jamaican football. So it's this is an opportunity for them to pivot and to become committed to doing things the right and proper way. At the end of the day, a rising tide lifts all boats, and so all of the various constituencies that are in Jamaica that are vying for whatever slice of the pie they're vying for, if you grow the Jamaican soccer brand, okay, if you put together a product that's compelling, okay, your slice of the pie is gonna become more valuable, okay. So I mean, we need to get rid of the scarcity mindset, and understand that at the end of the day, the sum of the whole is better than the sum of the parts, and just focus on making Jamaica football a wholesome product that not only nationals of the country can enjoy, but people worldwide will develop some type of affinity towards, and whatever rewards they're trying to get, they're gonna get it. That's just grow the darn thing. That's all I gotta say.
Well said.
All
Wow.
right, well said. So people again have to say much respect to the attorney Milton Murphy for joining us and trying to shed some light for the persons who didn't have an understanding of what was happening or what could be the possible outcome of this injunction and so forth. We're happy that he was able to come on and share his legal knowledge on this situation. And big up yourself, Mr. Murphy. Thanks again. Big up to CC, big up to Cranky, big up to Devon Porter, and all the persons in the comment section. Big up to the callers who call in, Cataract and Dub Up calling, Kiki Clem, big up yourself, Dub Up. And also, Mr. United say, with all due respect, Coach and Cranky, soccer is being used more now. Being used more where? In the States, Canada, and US. Yeah, that now go change. You understand? So big up yourself, people. Stay safe. Until next time. You don't know what's going on, but we just wait patiently for the next few days to unfold so we can have an outcome on this thing. Because we don't want it labor and distract, especially in the preparation to that big semi-final game in March. You understand? So bless up yourself, people. Stay safe. Until next time. Peace. Out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.